Hello, myself is Ramakrishna. Basically, we are discussing one of the topic that is city aggregation. In city aggregation, basically, we are discussing one of the topic that is vitamins. One of the person told that vitamins are very dangerous. One of the person told that vitamin C equal to what basically? Vitamin C also equal to that you can say that three cities created, four cities created. That is vitamins basically. Vitamins equal to incidence. Vitamins equal to 93 bomb blast. Vitamins equal to 9/11 World Trade Centers. Vitamins equal to First World War data. Vitamins equal to Second World War data. Vitamins equal to the currently war which is ongoing. These all are vitamins basically. Medical industry basically has given this name basically, that also you can see. Actually the topic is this basically, and that is connecting to this basically, and stories are equal to what basically. One of the person basically asked the question basically, because Bollywood just now basically came, but First World War basically happened as long before basically. That time basically the Bollywood was not there basically. So the group basically who created the world, and basically they told that basically somebody is required basically to who can basically handle the entire world stories, because small incidents basically converts into the world war basically. So the world war is not supposed to happen basically. For that basically they, because world war basically one basically killed more than 50 100 crore. World war 2 also basically finished more than 70 80 crore. Currently war basically which is ongoing, that also basically was the genetic world war basically. In corona basically more than 55 crore people died, and the currently which is war ongoing basically between many countries basically, there also more than 50 crore people died basically. That means currently basically more than 100 crore people basically died. So one of the person basically told that basically, then why the Bollywood was created basically? That was actually the good question basically asked by Bollywood group only basically. Bollywood group only basically asked the question basically, why Bollywood was created basically. They were basically created, reason that was Bollywood equal to what basically. One of the person basically asked the question basically. That was actually good question basically. Bollywood equal to what? Shanti. Actually it's one word, but I am taking two word basically. Two characters. So one of the person told that I will add here also in dictionary. So one of the person told that Bollywood equal to what basically? Bollywood equal to peace, that is Shanti. They handles the entire Bollywood industry. So one of the person told that basically the peace groups only handles the Bollywood industry. For example, one new dance step basically is introducing into the Bollywood basically, that are basically introduced by the peace group only basically, and where they sits basically, that basically nobody knows basically. So Bollywood group basically each and every experts basically, they group the peace group basically easily basically they finds the experts basically, that this person basically can become the number one director, this person basically can become the number one dance director, this person basically can become the number one actor, this person basically can become number one actress basically, this person basically can become number one writer basically. So they basically have a good experience, that is the peace group basically. So they basically see basically up to what level things are going to connect basically, because more than 100 crore people basically has died basically. So who are responsible, that basically you have to give the answer basically. So who was responsible basically? So one of the person told that Bollywood equal to peace group, and peace group basically they had basically the groups few basically the English Oxford group basically has given this name as a Shanti. So one of the person told that Bollywood group are equal to peace, and the 100 crore people basically died basically. For that Bollywood groups and the peace group are responsible equally. So the peace group basically who are sitting at the particular places basically, they are also responsible for this 100 crore murder. This was actually murder basically, that basically you have to accept it basically, peace group, this was actually murder basically. That was 100 crore people already died basically, and lots of people are going to die also basically. That you see basically, and that for that basically you will be responsible, and you are the responsible group basically. For that basically you have to give the answer basically why basically the 100 crore, more than 100 crore people basically died. So that is basically one topic basically, right? Now basically the things are, that is one topic, and that is a very dangerous topic basically. Why 100 crore people basically died? Because 100 crore people basically has already died. So you have to give the answer basically. In this basically America have to give the answer basically, because peace equal to American basically. If anybody says that basically who is the peace group basically, in that basically the America also basically comes into the peace group basically, because they have seen the world war basically. They have seen the hundreds of crores of people basically dying in the America basically. They have seen that way. In Corona basically they have seen the more than crore people basically died in the America basically, and they have seen that murder basically. That was actually murder, no? Basically, more than 100 crore people basically who died basically. That was actually murder basically. So you have to find the responsible stories basically, and stories are equal to created by Bollywood groups, because they are responsible, and in front of the world basically, that is Mumbai city. But in real basically it's not Mumbai city. Mumbai city has kept in front of the world basically. In front of the world, Mumbai is the economic city basically, and in front of the world basically Mumbai is the richest city also basically, you can see. But in real basically it's not like that. Mumbai is also controlled by the set of groups basically, that are also busy, and Bollywoods are basically controlled by this peace group basically. Where they sits basically, that you have to find basically where this group basically sits, because these groups are basically responsible for 100 crore murder basically. This was actually murder, and that basically peace group basically is going to have to give the answer basically why this murder basically has happened basically. That has more than 100 crore people basically died here basically. If America basically say that basically our 2 3 people also basically died na, we basically just escalate this issue to a whole world basically. But here basically more than 100 more than 1 crore people basically died of American people basically. That now basically you can't tell anything basically. Now basically there is no answer basically. They are just keeping they are basically telling that basically we are peace group basically, but entire America will get end basically. Then also you will say that basically we are peace, we are basically going to keep peace basically, when entire America will end basically. That time also you say basically we are peace group basically. That time also you say peace. But every time basically you can't say the peace basically, because 100 crore people has died basically. It's not a small amount basically. Sorry, small number basically. It's not actually an amount basically. But human bodies are equal to amount also basically, you can say. Human bodies are equal to amount also basically. Because 100 crore people died basically. Where their money basically has gone basically. That is also basically one of the question basically. They basically are deposited into that banks basically, and then basically it will convert into the default defector basically, whatever things basically you can say, you can give this name basically, and that is going to convert into the, going to be into the World Bank, then basically the Swiss Bank basically, then basically how many banks are basically that I don't know basically. And that basically money which is going to be collected from the 100 crore people died basically, they basically are used into the pool creation, road creation, then basically the city creation, government cell, suburban parliament, this all basically, this all monies are basically this only basically, that are 100 crore murder basically. So one of the person basically asked literally the question basically, who are governments basically? That was also basically one of the question basically, because government basically are responsible for this creation basically. Peace group basically, Bollywood group basically, they are handled by the Bollywood group. Bollywood groups are handled by whom basically? That is the peace group basically, because peace groups are given protection by the police government basically, and police is one government basically, because each and every big police commissioner basically are directly connected with the parliament house basically. They don't sit in the parliament house basically, but their people basically are into the past.